Alright, Patreon, so if you watched the previous video, you got to see rat sizes and what snakes those rats go to and kind of that pairing. And that's great information if you're brand new, but if you've been around a while, you're probably like, shit, I already knew that. Like, I know it's not earth-shattering rocket science. You've been doing this for a bit. What size rodent to feed your snake? But again, you know, I know there's people out there that do struggle with that. Trust me, man. We see them come in the retail shop all the time. They're like, yeah, my ball python is this old. I need a mouse. I'm like, what the fuck? No, you don't. And then I'll sell them a rat, and they're like, can it eat that? Yes. Yes, it can eat that. Your 3-foot python can eat a small rat. So that's why we do those videos. But something I do want to go over with you guys is how we feed. Because how we feed, I think, is very important. Now, we do use the blue clips. That is legit. You know, we do get out of order because we do film the Feed Your Fiend. As a matter of fact, we're going to film a few of them here in a second. But you have to wait to see those. Actually, I'll see one probably before this. Hell, I don't know. But there is a system that we came up with. Just like I talked about leaving snakes in tubs. I've done that. I've been very, very fortunate when I've done that nothing bad happened. You know, we never have had a snake chewed up by a rat. Have we forgot a rat in a tub? Yeah, we have. And it sucks. You feel like this big when it happens. I feel like I put my animals at risk when it's happened, and I feel like shit. So I don't like doing that. So every time something's happened like that, we've always tweaked our system to make sure that we do a better job. That's where the blue clips came from. Also, that's how we started our, what I call assembly line feeding. And I don't know I mean, this probably seems like really common sense, but it took us, I don't know, Kurt, how long did it take us to come up with our current feed method? Like years, right?
Yeah, to where it is now.
Yeah. What we used to do is we have a book, and we still have a book, and every snake was in the book, and Kurt would be like, read off a snake name, and I'd feed it, and we'd close it up, and then we'd write down what happened, and we'd go back through and try to check them all, and that worked pretty good. And what I find is you'll come up with a system, and it'll work really well for a while until you get to a certain size. Then you'll find it's not working anymore, and you have to tweak it. So, like, you know, before it was just, I remembered who I'd fed, and then you get to a point you can't do that, and you're, you know, marking things down, and then we found we'd get 2 pages stuck together or something, or it'd get all kind of out of order. So what we do now is what I call assembly line feeding. So instead of our book being fixed, or pages in our book, we can move them all around and do. And we'll start with, like usually we'll start with these racks here on our keepers. And we'll just feed all down a rack, feed all down a rack, feed this entire rack, feed this entire rack. And we'll get to a stopping point, usually at the completion of a rack. There. Cool. Then we'll go back, we'll go through here, right? We'll just go through each and every one. And as we go through, Kurt's writing the book, I'm pulling rats, Kurt's writing down a success. We still track our successes, get back to the original point, we know we're done there. We come over here, we do the same thing. So by doing that, what it does is it becomes very, very methodical. So we ensure that we get into every tub to feed, then we go back through, and it's all in order, you know, and we go back through each and every tub. And it's kind of a double check system because, one, Kurt's checking me off the book, and 2, I'm checking them off just a methodical order. So we don't miss one, 2 pages don't get stuck together or something like that. You know, I'm checking him, he's checking me, and we're going through to prevent leaving a rat in a tub. And I guess there's 2 points to this. One is when you get to this size, and some of you are the same size that we are, I know, you need a system that works for you, and we have found this to be very, very effective for us, which is why we want to share it with you. And 2 is when you do make a mistake, because you're gonna, you know, you're human, I'm human, you're gonna fuck something up. The key is to learn from it and make yourself better. You know, I've recently been reading a book about a legendary football coach who just recently retired, and one of the things, by the name, his name was, I think it's Bill Snyder. That's who that is. And one of the things that he imparted on a team he took over that completely sucked ass and hadn't won a game in like 28 tries or some crap was to get a little better each day. And you can really apply this here. So, you know, if you make a mistake, get a little better, figure out a new way to do what you're doing, and improve your craft. And that's really what it's about. It's about, if you make a mistake, learning from it and improving to not make the same mistake repeatedly. You know, if we were leaving rats in the tub all the time, and I know people who do this, and then continue to do the same thing, and continue to do the same type of feeding, and not learn, And then even when something bad happens and you get a snake all messed up, you continue to do the same thing and still don't learn, then I'm not going to feel sorry for those people, right? They're putting themselves in that situation. What I'm saying is, when you make one, if you learn from it, then it's really not a mistake. It's a mistake, but it's more of a learning opportunity and an improvement that's made. So just, and if this system ceases to work for us because we grow more, we'll find something new that does if we start finding errors in this. Kurt, anything you want to add to that?
I know when we did it before, to where we didn't do, like, I guess what you call the assembly line.
Yeah.
Before, it's kind of like, well, I wouldn't really bring, like, say we have, like, 120 snakes.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't bring 120 rats. I'd bring, like, maybe 100, because we knew that
Some of them aren't going to eat.
20 of them wouldn't eat. So then we couldn't do the assembly line because I didn't have enough for it. Now I bring enough or more than what we feed, so we can put a rat in every single tub.
Yep.
And then go back and check.
It probably makes a little more work on Kurt on the rat end because of that. Gets to haul the ones we don't feed back. In all honesty, organizing was kind of a pain in the ass getting the book ready, and I think he thought it was going to take longer, but it sped our feed nights up, I'd say tremendously, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we have to film on them a lot of times, and we end up bullshitting about other stuff because it's kind of our guy time to hang out and be just guys, and the hens go cluck elsewhere. Not trying to offend any ladies, just an old man kind of saying. So we end up bullshitting a lot. But if we just set our minds to it and didn't have anything else to do but feed, I bet we could knock this room out, feeding and cleaning while we do it, and watering while we do it. And what would you say, 2.5?
Yeah, 2 to 2.5 hours.
Not to be like Blitzkrieg and I'm fat and lazy and don't work that fast anymore, but it could be done. So, all right, that's all I got. I'm going to hop off of here. I'll catch y'all next week, and we're going to film a few Feed Your Fiends during this assembly line feeding. So you guys got one for this Saturday, and we're also going to probably feed 2 snakes on that one because guess what? Kurt just realized, and I hadn't noticed either, that with the holidays, we kind of dropped the ball on that. So we're going to give you a double feature to make up for it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week.